look at next week's cartoon. It's one of your best pictures.
A picture of me? Where?
There!
Be sure to be with us next week, folks. We're going to take you to Fairyland. You'll meet the Wicked Witch, who's none other than
Me, Dishonest John.
You'll see how Cecil almost loses his head over Sleeping Beauty.
Let's see.
And you'll sigh when our hero, as Prince Chow Mein, saves Sleeping Beauty with his super slurping kiss. You'll meet Willie the Wolf, the down-at-the-heel who hasn't eaten in a week.
Down, boy.
You'll also meet his intended dinner, the cute little duck, Tway-am Quacker. And in the end, Wicked Willie's plans backfire. I can hardly wait to see it myself.
Me.
You'll meet the Cowboy Star's Cowboy Star. Cowboy Star. See how Dishonest John, as Billy the Squid, kidnaps little Homer and his friend Twinkle Twinkle. Yeah, but good old Cease comes to the rescue, disguised as Cowboy Star, the first 8-gun gunfighter in history.
That's what's coming up next week, kids. But look what's coming up now.
Officer! Officer! Arrest that man!
Why?
What he does to me in next week's cartoon is a crime.
Next week, friends, we're really heading for adventure. We're going to Cape Banana Peel and join little Ace in the rat race for space. And we're going to play cat and mouse with a real swinging cat. Come face to face with a talking hat rat.
You were calling perhaps Mama Moose, big boy?
And that's just the beginning, folks. Faster, boy, faster. Speed, speed, that's what we need. Keep that old power. Get him into the stand there, Seed Boy. Get that old Seed. We make a ghost appearance at the world-famous Hotel Fontainebleau. And it's there we meet the dreaded Boo Birds. And that's not all. You're going to meet a poisonality named Boo Bailey and a real headstrong hammerhead shark.
Yeah, but is it fresh?
Ooh, is it? And what a wild chase, folks, when we run into that giant of giants, Ping Pong. You just got to see it.
Why not?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, I always say.
Who are you trying to catch, Father?
Why, you're, what?
I may be only 2.5 years old, but I'm ever so strong.
Quick, Junior, run something, quick!
But there's nothing left to run.
A commercial? Then just run! Yay!
Since everybody's running, let's run the coming attractions. I can't understand it, but I love it. Just love it. What's up, Doc? People call me Daffy. They think that I am goony. Just because I'm happy is no sign I'm loony toony.
These kids coming up nowadays don't even know how to tie down their pumpkins. Why, when I was a boy, say, I never tied down no pumpkins. Hey, son, what you tying down a pumpkin for? What's the... Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Well, thanks a lot, Peppy.
Il n'est pas de quoi, Monsieur Lepin. Au revoir.
Arrivederci.
Well, I guess that does it for tonight. Let's take a look at what's coming up next week.
and you're my victim. Are you gonna come quiet, or do I have to muss you up?
Chicken hawk? You're going at it all wrong, son.
Put me down, you baggy-eyed devil. If you eat me, what do you got? One skinny rabbit, that's all.
And now, a look at our next show. It being attacked.
Attacked? Attacked from where?
Hey, Twig! Where is the one called Underdog?
If it's Underdog you seek, just turn around and take a peek.
King Clobber summons you to the planet Zot and commands that you will marry his daughter, the fair Princess Glissando. Don't miss our next Underdog show.
Come on, Chumley. Let's get back for our next show.
What's it going to be about? I'll give you a little preview on 3DBB.
Chumley, this is the most ridiculous thing I ever rode in. A kangaroo cat.
Well, now, fancy meeting you here.
We're in trouble, Platypus.
Sounds like your swimming pool got you in hot water.
Stanley Livingston says we have to get you back to the zoo. So, if you'll go, well, we'll let you have our swimming pool all to yourself.
This portion of Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales, presented by
Topper Toys, creators of Penny Bright, the doll that looks like a real girl.
Here's what you'll see on our next new Casper cartoon show.
Hey, Fusini, conjure up a ghost!
In the Magic Touch, I help Fusini the magician.
Abracadabra, have no fear. A scary ghost will soon appear.
Hi. Ha ha! Some scary ghost.
That Fusini is great!
You know, you go read the paper, and I do the scrubbing the scientific way.
Professor Schmaltz helps his wife with the housework in Giddy Gadgets.
And now, with the main sail in place, we make with the scrubbing the deck.
Come on, Chumley. Let's get back for our next show.
What's it going to be about?
I'll give you a little preview on 3DBB.
Where'd you get all the wire? Let's hook it up and run a test. Okay, Chumley, take up the slack. Pull it tighter. Tighter. Now. Can you hear me, Chumley?
Gee, Tennessee, I hear you fine.
Good.
Whoops.
I told you Tennessee Tuxedo does not fail. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a butter-fingered walrus.
This portion of Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales, presented by
Topper Toys, creators of the wonderful world of Penny Bright.
Come on, Chumley. Let's get back for our next show.
What's it going to be about?
I'll give you a little preview on 3DBB.
Stanley, your worries are over. We are here. Okay, hit it, group.
Abracadabra, Angel-Rangery. If I recite, stop that! Stop it!
Stop that!
Now, hold on, Stanley. If you expect us to be on your show...
On my show? You? I want you to nail up these signs all around the zoo.
Nail up signs? But we're singers, Stanley. You've just got to put us on your show.
This portion of Tennessee Tuxedo and his Tales, presented by
Topper Toys, makers of the exciting new Super Helmet 7.
Put out that light! So we can watch some scenes from next week's show. Stop! Unless you give yourself up, I will drop her in this jar of suntan lotion.
All right, I give up. What could they possibly do to hurt Fearless Fly?
Grab him.
I'll pay 1,000. 1,500. $2,000. Sold to the lady with the green plaid checkbook. Brother, if that's how you get rich in the art racket, then I'll be a monkey's agent.
Look, my problems with Milton are over. Look, wealthy spinster wishes to meet eligible bachelor. Object, matrimony.
Great, I'll be your best man.
Not me, you fool. Milton.
Little me, I've had a busy day. Next week, our show will be maybe not so tragic. Bonsoir. Where you going, Miss
With the Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Where you going with the cage, Red Riding Hood?
Gold. I'm rich. I'm fabulously wealthy. Yahoo!
This is truly droll. One simply cannot resist a chuckle when reading of my upcoming adventures. See for yourselves.
Greed! I've got it. He's got twice as many legs as anyone else in the kingdom. I hereby declare a tax on legs.
But, Your Majesty, that's unfair.
What ho, chaps? Come along for the ride, did you?
Lick me at him! Just once is all I ask!
There, stiff upper lip, old bean. I say.
Look out! In the beginning of the scene, I sneak up on you and clobber you with this mace.
Begging your pardon, Sir Malcolm, do I understand correctly that you actually intend to have at me with that thing?
Well, folks, it's...
Hoppity, haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. And now, here are some scenes from our next show.
What would all them kids out there think of you if you ran away and left Hoppity with a giant?
They'd think I was a cowardly fink.
Sure they would.
And they'd be right.
No, you don't, Waldo. We're going back to save Hoppity.
Very well. Forward.
Meanwhile, back at the Giant.
Boy, am I ever getting tired.
Just a little too tired, for at that moment...
Well, folks, it's...
Hoppity, haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, yeah, wait a minute. And now, here are some scenes from our next show.
Yes, they'll concentrate on Hoppity, and let's face it, Fillmore, we are not very good players.
Oh, I don't know. Listen to this.
Basketball players, I mean.
But Waldo!
Shut up and eat your beans, Tamerlane, and...
Ooh. What is it, Waldo? You got a hot enchilada?
Move the plates, Fillmore. He's getting an idea.
I got it!
What?
Mexican jumping bean.
Do you happen to have a can opener? Yeah! Well, thanks a lot, rodent.
Muchas gracias, Senor Speedy.
Don't mention it, Senor Rabbits. What's cooking next week?
Well, next week, for the first time on television, we're gonna bring you...
Welcome to our new home. Nice, huh? Yeah, sure. What did I do? What did I do? You didn't do nothing. I thought I saw a putty cat. I did saw a putty cat.
Acoustically perfect. Boy, what a lot of work to go through to get such a skimpy meal. Roadrunners must be awful good eating. But I think I'd better stick to carrots just the same. Now then, let's take a look at the menu for next week's show. First, a final word from our sponsor.
All right, Seagull. Are you coming with me quietly, or do I have to slap you around some? Oh, Farcy Perilla. And just where are you planning to take me, Super Sparrow? I'm taking you to me old man.
Hey, there's the varmint now.
Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Goes the weasel.
Persistent little cusses, ain't they?
I'm through being scared of you. I'm gonna take vitamins and grow as big as you are.
Those pills will make you grow as big as me?
Next week, I'll tell you the story of Virginia Leonard from Keokuk, Iowa, whose life was complicated equally by $1 million and a very attractive Italian count.
Oh, Paul, I'm not from one of the first families. I don't have a family at all. I'm not a Leonard from Virginia. I'm not a Leonard from anywhere. I'm a hamburger waitress from Keokuk, Iowa.
See you next week with the story of another millionaire.
Appearing in the next Adventures in Paradise will be guest stars Jeff Richards and Natalie Trundy. A wealthy and powerful man offers me $5,000 to find his beautiful young daughter, who is eloped with a fortune-hunting flyer. Well, he's a pretty good man with a knife.
I want Monica back, Troy. Back and safe. I would not do that, monsieur. Private property. I should not like to have to shoot you for trespassing.
I have a new song for you.
Later.
Darling.
You talk too much.
A desperate search aboard the Tiki finally ends in the shark-infested waters of a lonely atoll in the South Pacific. Next on Adventures in Paradise, The Violent Journey. Until then, thank you for watching, and aloha.
A raging forest fire set deliberately by a ruthless hunter nearly brings disaster to the animals in Wamaroo Reserve and threatens the lives of Paula and Jack in the next episode of Daktari.
Well, maybe if we started up a backfire, we could open up an escape corridor for some of them. Now, it's going to take time. It's going to cut down our own chances. Well, maybe too much.
Collins! What are you doing? You're insane! Listen here to me, Felix, will you?
You see this petrol can?
Yeah?
I recognized it. This little token was left at the point the fire was started.
Was started? You mean it's arson?
Yes.
Coming in on us.
Who are you?
What do you want from us?
Watch for the next episode of Daktari.
Watch out! In our next story, I check into a routine accidental death and come up with 2 murders. A stunningly beautiful widow and an already marked 3rd victim, me.
Watch out! Pacific Orient writes a large amount of industrial accident and compensation. Naturally, we have our own staff of investigators, but quis custodius ipsis custodat? Or, who shall guard the guardians?
I'm working for the company that insured the late Jerry Shannon. I just spoke with his widow. Could I ask you a couple questions? I'll only take a moment of your time.
Oh, bosh. Landlady's got nothing but time. Have a beer?
Thanks.
When do you put your word machine away for the day?
5 o'clock. And my brother takes me home every evening. There he is. See?
Your brother, huh? That's nice.
What?
Just getting the facts, ma'am.
Nice little gun, ain't it? Belonged to my late husband, Herman. Crack shot, too. He taught me to shoot a pistol, fight off mashers.
Get much practice?
You'd be surprised.
Stay away from Elaine Shannon. Well, I'll need your signature on this. And it's up to you whether you want the $20,000 in one lump sum or whether you would prefer monthly installments.
I'd like it all now.
I'll put this through as soon as possible.
You've been very kind. My name's Elaine.
Thanks, Elaine. For excitement and a tense tangle of intrigue, join us in The Widow and the Web.
The following scenes are from the story we will bring to you next week. Take my word for it, it's a thriller.
You see, he will not answer.
Perhaps he's ill. Better use your key. Please open the door, madame. I insist.
No, it's not a religious painting. Unless the man who painted it worshipped death. Who knows what went on in Henri Rodin's twisted mind when he created this nightmare. But one thing we do know, 15 of the people who owned this painting met with a sudden, unexpected, violent death. And each was warned. Whenever anyone is about to die, the blade of that scythe begins.
Paul, what's the matter?
Let me out, Katie! Let me out!
Homer's Iliad, one of the greatest love stories ever written, come to life. The story we all know, but until now, no man has ever seen or heard. And this book was our challenge. We hope when you see Helen of Troy at your local theater in CinemaScope and Watercolor, this glimpse into how the picture was made will enable you to enjoy it more. I'll be back in a moment, but first here's Clint Walker with a word about next week's television presentation.
Thanks, Gig. Evening, folks. Next week, Cheyenne tells the story of a Western bad man, Fabulous Pat Keel.
Pat was a man that no one could really dislike or ever hope to tame. And Gerald Moore brings him to life with all the courage and charm that made Pat Keel famous.
That's far enough. How about another little drink?
Oh, no, I don't think I should.
Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake.
But that's from the Bible.
1 Timothy 5:3.
But I didn't think you could...
I just want you to know you're in good company.
I didn't hear you knock. Good thing you didn't. Look, if it's about that shooting outside of Laramie... We don't know anything about Laramie. Just get out of that tub. Why?
You're coming with us.
You don't shoot so bad yourself. Or was it an accident?
I guess it could have been.
I'd sort of like to find out.
Got another $1?
Let's find out free of charge. Anytime you're ready.
I'm ready. Accidents happen all the time.
Why don't you just go in there and you can think of some names to call me in private?
Well, we were partners.
That's right.
I saw her first.
Thought all you did was take hot baths.
Listen, mister. I lost 2 friends today. One of them I had to kill myself. Now, I'm gonna ride out of here. I hope you'll have the sense to put that gun away and stay quiet.
I think you're going to enjoy this one when we get together here next week. It's called Rendezvous at Red Rock. I'll see you then.
I got lots of girls. What kind you want to know about?
The dead kind.
Dead kind.
Next on Gibbsville.
Heard about Christine's?
No.
Christine's is a house. I'm a working girl.
Jenny, how much are you? Where are you, buddy? Jenny! Jenny!
Look, you're not gonna hustle here or any place, you understand? Jenny, you're not gonna hustle here or any place else, you Schneider. I don't have my pad out. I'm not taking notes.
Look, Jim, for the family's sake, can't just leave it like
For
a
the family's
fly.
sake, Alice is sitting home wondering what the heck happened.
Hey, you leave Sam's daughter out of this, will you?
You want to make some bucks, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
Hey, look. I really, really want to do it with you, too. But you gotta be patient. Please? Please?
Boy, life's sure tough on a guy.
This is Glenn Corbett. Now Martin Milner takes you on a preview of our next Route 66. Take a man, running, dangerous, and trusting nobody. Add a girl, standing still, waiting for something to happen. Stir, and it happens. What's going on?
Nothing.
You're scared silly about something.
Joe who and where?
To Joe. Little old Lollapalooza. To Joe. Little old good for nothing. Never gonna be nothing. No account. Joe.
Because I want to be with you. And I know I could make you very happy. Because I told you, I am a very, very nice girl.
Who in his right mind means a nice girl?
Hey, you! Stop! Next on Route 66, Lee Phillips, Lois Smith, and a fine cast join Glenn Corbett and me, Martin Milner, in a very exciting story. Please watch.
This portion of Route 66 is brought to you by Marlboro, the filter cigarette with a man's world of flavor. You get a lot to like in Marlboro country.
This is Clint Eastwood. In the next episode of Rawhide, Mr. Favor hires the doggonedest little drover you ever saw, played by guest star Shelley Berman.
You! Move out! Come on, move out! Dumbbell! Come on, you dumbbell! You! Come, this!
That's a drover? Must be. He's pushing cattle.
Well? How's that?
There. Now, that's real classy, Mr. Sorkin. Yeah, a real cow-looking old boy, ain't it?
Well, after all, a cattle owner shouldn't look like a merchant.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's try this for size.
Just like Buffalo Bill.
Mr. Kumash, how do you do? My name is Mendel Sorkin. Now, I am here to make another offer.
Rawhide has been brought to you by Bufferin, the modern drug for pain relief. Nabisco, bakers of quality crackers and cookies. And Drano, to keep all your drains free-running and sanitary.
Keep them doggies rolling hard through rain and wind and weather, hell bent for leather, wishing my gal was by my side. All the things I'm missing, good fiddles, love and kissing, are waiting at the end of my ride. Move 'em on, hit 'em up, move 'em on, hit 'em up, rawhide. Cut 'em out, ride 'em in, let 'em out, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, rawhide.
And now, exciting scenes to come on the Green Hornet.
Black Beauty withstands a hail of bullets and spits back. A laser beam becomes a killer's weapon. The Green Hornet duels with death from the sky. For these and other action-packed scenes, tune in to the Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet has been brought to you by
ABC, where I'll be seeing you and that girl. I'm Marlo Thomas, and I'd like to invite you to join me every Thursday night.
And now some scenes from next week's show, The Antidote, starring Robert Stack as Elliot Ness, co-starring Telly Savalas and Bruce Gordon, with special guest star Joseph Weisman.
That's funny. The outside of the cases have watermarks. Inside are dry as a bone. Which means these watermarks are phony. They don't publish the Toronto Dispatch in Havana, do they?
They sure don't.
I'd offer you a drink, Wally. Only there's nothing to drink. That don't bother me. You know the story about the shoemaker's kids not having any shoes? But my speak's not having any whiskey. That bothers me.
All right, Chief. You proved how smart you are, you win. You're a partner, and that's the end of it. How much do you want?
Money won't prove anything.
Now, what do you want me to do?
Kill Mac.
How you like us? Hey, Wally, you wouldn't.
But that'll satisfy you?
Nothing else.
Wally, you wouldn't.
Really?
Run, Max, run!
Good evening. I'm Gilbert Rowland, appearing in next week's Fourth Theater presentation entitled The Ardent Woodsman. My little potatoes, I'm going to tell you something. This year you have the most beautiful teacher in the whole state of Maine. So I want you to be good to her, or she will fly away. Now, this must not happen because I, Pierre, am in love with her.
I'm Phyllis Thaxter, the teacher he's talking about. You can see why our story's called The Ardent Woodsman. But how ardent can you be? See you next week.
The Bunko men were convicted on several counts and sentenced to San Quentin Penitentiary. Calhoun and Johnson had served a previous term in Montana State Prison at Deer Lodge. Their scheme was clever. Where they slipped up was in putting over too many deals. This established a course of conduct proving bad intentions and a conspiracy to defraud. The money they had taken was proportionately divided among the victims they had swindled. Unfortunately, it was not enough to fully reimburse Jack and Mildred and the other gas station owners. Let their experience serve as a warning, because it could happen to you. Bring me the file on Slade Wallace, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. In a moment, I'll tell you about next week's case. One of the nastiest that we've ever cracked. But first, let's put tonight's case to bed.
Call for Philip Morris.
Do you inhale? Then you're better off smoking Philip Morris. The one cigarette proved definitely less irritating, proved definitely milder than any other leading brand. Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette.
How would you feel if you had worked for years to build up a fair and honest business, only to find that a well-kept secret had trapped you into being prey for blackmail? Don't miss this thrilling story next week in 5-Star Swindle. Another episode from the official files of Racket Squad. Presented by Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette.
Next week, our play will be a strong prison drama entitled The Doomsday Boys. Appearing with me will be Peter Falk. In just a moment, some scenes from that show. And now about next week's show. I play one of 3 convicts whose deal with this prison doctor gets us tagged the Doomsday Boys.
Now, I'm told that you're all doing life sentences for murder. No parole. Now, understand this and understand it very, very clearly. This thing kills. The incidence of mortality under certain circumstances can run as high as 20%.
And everybody dies for dear old Doc Keegan.
No, nobody does anything for me. Find your own reasons. They better be good ones.
So old Doc Keegan isn't going to scare me with any of his drugs. When I heard about him asking for volunteers, I figured he'd come up empty-handed if he didn't have somebody like me working for him. That's why I'm in this, Nick, because hot or cold, in or out, I still run the action. Me, Vincent T. Malloy. The Doomsday Boys, showing the world how tough we were. You're a good boy, is he? But Sammy here is trying to prove how much guts he brought out of that coal mine. Show me, Sammy. Sammy! But how tough can you be fighting a killer you can't even see with a microscope?
Sorry to have spoiled your vacation, but nobody asked you to join this party.
I never wanted your lousy vaccine.
Well, you got it.
You made it. Kill it.
If I could kill it, you'd be out of here in 2 minutes. Get that straight. There's nothing I can do. Except live with it, sonny boy, just like you.
It's a pleasure to appear with Emmy Award winner Peter Falk in the Doomsday Boys. Next week on The Dick Powell Show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Good night.
Did you come here?
I came to ride and rope.
And what did you find?
I found the most exciting thing in the world, birth. The birth of a new continent. It was sealed off. Peterson's dogs, they've got the scent.
Be sure to watch each week on this channel as Chuck Connor stars in the exciting new adventures of Cowboy in Africa.
Next week, Laramie will bring you guest star Rod Cameron in Drifter's Gold, the suspenseful story of a man desperate enough to destroy an entire town to get what he wants.
Been here before, huh?
Yeah, about 20 years ago. You'd have known the name Tom Bedloe if you'd been around then. I had a reputation I wouldn't quit, and that was the trouble with it. Yeah, here's to the past, Slim. I'm willing to forget it, but not forgive it.
Who'd want to put him in jail? I had other plans for him.
I bet you did.
Of course, that was before you came to town, mister.
How old are you?
That's a laugh. With me, age has always been a matter of size.
Take it easy, lady. I'm not going to hurt you much. You're a hellcat. It's about time somebody pulled your claws out.
That's enough, Duke. Let her go. You behave yourself, miss. Nobody will get hurt. Just remember, if you or anybody else in town gets stubborn, I ain't holding this gun for nothing.
You know, the ladies are going to hate me for messing up that pretty face of yours, mister. But it just can't be helped.
Bedloe! Duke! What's going on in there?
Let's go.
Tonight's Laramie was brought to you by Camel, the cigarette that gives you real smoking satisfaction each and every time you light up. And by Beech Nut Peppermint. Reach for refreshment. Reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum.
What's your name?
My name's Homer.
Nothing wrong with you. A little rest won't cure.
My gun, what did you do with it?
Oh, well, I locked that up so nobody'd steal it.
It's mine. I want it.
Please, Pa. I couldn't help it. The graves was all open, and Barney and his wife was gone.
We should have dug them graves deeper. Who's Mr. Barney?
He's a man we met on the trail. His wife was real sick, then she died.
What happened to Mr. Barney?
He died, too. Must have come on awful sudden.
Now, you listen to me. And if you don't quit trying to get away, we're going to put you where you can't get loose.
What do you mean?
Well, we're just gonna have to throw you in jail.
You killed my pa, and I'm gonna kill you.
Tell me, son. Did you ever kill anybody before?
Be sure to watch the next Gunsmoke.
Where are you taking me, you naughty man?
Anywhere your little heart desires.
We're locked in.
It was quite a nice little jail you had me in, Mr. West. I didn't mind. Gave me plenty of time to think. As a matter of fact, in the past few months, you've almost become an obsession with me.
When do you intend to fill in the rest?
If all goes well, in 2 weeks.
You know, Route 66 isn't just the name of this show. It's the studio where the show is filmed. We actually travel along this highway.
We were just a few hours' drive from the highway when we shot this. And it was a pretty interesting spot.
But wherever we go in every state in the Union, we find more and more people who like Marlboro. The filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste. And I'm with them.
Why don't you settle back?
Settle back.
And have a full-flavored smoke. Have a Marlboro cigarette.
Marlboro, the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste.
This is George Maharis. Now Marty Milner takes you on a preview of our next Route 66.
Somebody generous had handed us a day in a million. But it became a day that turned into tragedy for Buzz.
do you feel? I know my eyes are open. I can't see you.
There are special joys in this darkness. The faces of my parents. Ageless, timeless. I see them as I remember them. Not a day older. Nothing grows older.
Can I touch you? I think I know how to look now.
Join us for the next exciting episode of Route 66. Even stones have eyes.
Marlboro, the filter cigarette with the unfiltered taste, has brought you this portion of Route 66.
This is Sebastian Cabot. In our next episode of Checkmate, guest stars David Jansen and Susan Lloyd are featured in the exciting story of a rodeo champion fighting for both a girl and his life.
What rider you got coming in here lousing up my workout?
None. But maybe the police have. So who would you rather talk to, them or me?
Well, do you hate me that much?
I don't hate you, Lynn. You're a great guy. You're a great guy. It don't matter to me where you come from or what your name is. I always said you were a real man. I always said that. I don't care about them things, see?
Get out of here, Bucky.
Come on, I'll stand you.
This portion of Checkmate was brought to you by Scott Paper Company, makers of new magic oval Scotties that float up one at a time or come out in neat handfuls.
And now, Mr. Serling. Next time out in the Twilight Zone, we move into a very dark corner of the odd and the unpredictable with a story called Caesar and Me. It's written by Adele T. Strasfield, and it stars one of the most talented young men on the acting scene today, Jackie Cooper. Here's one that may stay with you after the lights are out. It's a story of a ventriloquist and his dummy. And this one is designed for the cold chills and the hot fevers. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by the American Tobacco Company, on behalf of Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes. And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, we bring you a show called The Invaders, written by Mr. Richard Matheson. And in this room, you'll watch Miss Agnes Moorehead in a tension-riddled attempt at escape from a pair of very improbable housebreakers. This one we recommend to science fiction buffs, fantasy lovers, or to anyone who wants to grip the edge of his seat and take a 24-minute trip into the realm of terror.
The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by New Arid Cream Deodorant, now fortified with Perstomp, for daily use to stop perspiration stains, stop odor. And now, Mr. Serling.
Next week, you'll ride up front in this wagon on a trek west. Your itinerary is across the Great Plains over the Rockies to a point in New Mexico. And you'll ride alongside Mr. Cliff Robertson in a strange tale of a handful of American pioneers who made a detour in time and found themselves one afternoon on the fringe of the future. Our story is called 100 Yards Over the Rim, and believe me, it's quite a view. I hope we'll see you then.
The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Chesterfield King. Tobacco's too mild to filter. Pleasure too good to miss. The wonderful taste of Chesterfield King.
This is E.G. Marshall. Our next show takes up the challenge to the law of a boy too young to be confined, but not old enough to go free.
But the question is, who's going to be responsible for you? Who post bail? Who guarantee your appearance in court? Now, I gather your mother won't?
No.
What about your father?
My parents are divorced, Mr. Preston. It wasn't so bad. You left me alone.
And that's what you wanted, huh?
Yeah.
I may be a lousy mother, but you're a lousy kid.
Look, if I took you in, we haven't beaten them. We've admitted we can't do it on our own. I'm no different from your mother, from the Davises. Don't need them. Don't need me. Please, now, don't need me.
How can justice serve the needs of one small boy? Be sure to see our next episode starring E.G. Marshall, Patrick O'Neill, Peter Laser, and me, Bob Reed.
This is E.G. Marshall. This woman is a few moments away from committing a senseless murder against this man.
Doctor or no doctor, do you think that I can forget what Anna did? I want her to be found guilty. I want her to lose. She's had 2 psychiatrists examine her. Let them be her experts, not me.
He's a bad man, Mr. Preston. An evil man. He took advantage of Anna. Specifically, what advantage? Didn't Anna tell you about her and Schubert?
I'd rather hear your version.
They were lovers.
Now, this dress you're wearing, it's blue. Do you think blue suits you?
I don't know. I thought you...
You thought I what?
You said...
You said I what? Does the fact that I don't think blue suits you, does that upset you?
I don't give a damn what you think.
See The Hidden Fury, our next exciting case. It stars E.G. Marshall, Susan Oliver, Joseph Anthony, Ben Piazza, and me, Bob Reed.
This portion of The Defenders presented by new Final Touch Fabric Softener. The fabric softener that whitens as it softens.
Look, you lying old squaw, you. Should call me an old squaw. All right, Woodley, get up. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
The jury has found you guilty.
I tell you, I didn't do it.
And I say you hang.
I'm afraid I got some bad news. Adam, it wasn't Mal Woodley that killed Cantwell. It was your sons. I've got to get Claude to Hayes City right now before they hang Mal Woodley.
But Hayes City is a long way, Matt. And you'll never get him there.
Let the boy go. You'll have to kill me to get him, Adam. I don't think you're going to do that.
In our program next week, titled Adios El Cuchillo, this sword carves out one of the most exciting chapters in early California legend. It is a story that will bring you another episode in the life of that devil-may-care adventurer who signed his name like this.
Come join in the thrills of another adventure in the life of Zorro the Fox as he plays a lone hand against the sinister plans of the gay bandito, El Cuchillo, and his ruthless desperados who plunder the land of the Dons.
I'm interested in one man, Zorro.
You seem to be very concerned. May I ask why?
I don't think Los Angeles is big enough for Zorro and El Cuchillo.
He went that way.
Gracias.
Adios, chaparrita bonita.
Adiosito.
Open the gate. Come on, open it.
Share every danger-filled moment, every reckless escapade, starring Guy Williams as the indomitable Zorro, crossing swords and matching wits with guest star Gilbert Rowland as the gay bandito. Next week, when Walt Disney presents Adios El Cuchillo.
Senor, we are going to be your guests for about a week or so, until the ship from Boston arrives in San Pedro. You and Diego are free to come and go as you please. One at a time. Just as long as one of you remains seated in this chair. I must warn you that if there's any sign of trouble, whoever is seated in the chair. Boom.
Here's the candy bar for you, and it's called Fifth Avenue. No other candy bar will do. Fifth Avenue delicious. Crunchy center, yum, yum, yum. Peanut butter, yum, yum, yum. Honeycomb candy, yum, yum, yum. With almonds, real milk chocolate.
Fifth Avenue, a crunchy center of peanut butter and crispy honeycomb candy. Big toasted almonds on top and covered with thick milk chocolate. Yes, real milk chocolate.
Crunchy center, yum, yum, yum. Peanut butter, yum, yum, yum. Honeycomb candy, yum, yum, yum. With almonds and real milk chocolate. So get the bar that's made for you. Make sure it is Fifth Avenue. No other candy bar will do. Fifth Avenue delicious.
Look for the big 5 on the wrapper. That's Fifth Avenue.
Tonight's program has been brought to you by Peter Pan Peanut Butter. Peanuts taste their best in Peter Pan. Smooth or crunchy, it's the Pea-nuttiest. And Luden's, makers of world-famous Luden's cough drops with a flavor to please everyone. And delicious chocolate Fifth Avenue candy bars. No man had ever conquered the river of death. Now there were 10 who dared. 10 desperate men, some brave, some bad. Each daring 1,000 unknown dangers, and only 6 would survive. 10 who dared, an exciting new motion picture from Walt Disney. Filmed in breathtaking color in the Mile Deep Canyon where it actually happened. See 10 Who Dared in a theater near you.
This has been an ABC Television Network film presentation.